And recognized as a leader and innovator among America's marching bands. With over 40 years at the helm, Dr. William P. Foster, the band's founder and director, displays a flair for showmanship and an ability to dazzle with raw energy. The numerous honors bestowed upon the 100 are well cataloged in America. But in the spring of 1989, the group was issued an unprecedented challenge in the form of an invitation. The band was chosen to be the sole representative of the USA in the Bicentennial celebration of the French Revolution, the Bastille Day Parade in Paris. Of the French government, Florida A&M's Marching 100 was off to Paris a week prior to the July 14th Bastille Day celebration. The early arrival gave the band and staff a chance to take in the sights. But more importantly, it was a time to get acclimated and tuned to precision for the biggest show in the 100's storied history. The invitation came by way of the Bastille Day Parade's artistic director, Jean-Paul Goude. The band had made a lasting impression on Goude 10 years earlier while he was living in New York.
And I was watching a football game. I think it was the Super Bowl or the Orange Bowl or something like that. And they were performing, and I thought they were terrific. They were, because they took the ordinary military, paramilitary drill to a level that was extraordinary.
I think the reasons for accepting the invitation are quite obvious because it offers the Florida A&M University Marching 100 Band an opportunity to have a window before the world.
This parade is basically about the rights of man first. And there's an under theme, which is world music, and world music is really based on African rhythms. So it's America with a touch of Africa, the same way we're presenting France with a touch of Africa. We're representing all countries with a touch of African rhythm.
This is a tribute, really, to black music. And it's been mentioned several times that you cannot go anywhere in the world to any discotheque or to listen to a symphony orchestra concert that hasn't had its influence as a result of black music.
Afro-American music is the music that makes the planet dance.
To ensure that the planet would indeed dance, Jean-Paul Goude requested that the Marching 100 perform a medley of James Brown compositions.
He's influenced pop music like nobody has before, and he deserves recognition. There's so many people who've made careers based on a single James Brown riff, that little guitar that goes. They can't do it, what's so extraordinary is that they're able to recreate James Brown's rhythm only with brass, with no bass guitar, with no guitars at all. And that's very, very difficult.
I think that's the hardest part about doing James Brown music or making any transformation is trying to keep the authenticity going. Trying to make the marching band sound just like the record, because you have to have those main characteristics, of James Brown music, which is you've got to have a strong bass line, which is the tuba section, and you've got to have a strong percussion section, to play that James Brown funky type of rhythm. And that's what we tried to create with the band.
The first rehearsals in Paris were eye-openers for the band and staff. For the majority of the Florida A&M contingent, this was their first trip abroad. Jet lag and a demanding schedule were beginning to take their toll on the unit.
You've been off of it for about 40 hours, two days. And we need to go back and sharpen it up a little bit forward.
Dr. Julian White, the band's associate director, is an alumnus of the 100, as is the rest of the staff. So careful attention to detail is second nature.
Because our ultimate goal is to get perfection. We feel that we may never really get there, but the process itself brings about tremendous changes. For example, we want all of the instrument angles to be on the same line. We like for the articulations to be clean. We like for the intonation to be precise. We like for the balance, the blend, and the phrasing, all the basic music fundamentals to be in place. We got to do a little bit more intensive work on the interval between each line. Regular football field intervals, 2.5 yards. You got to keep that, and you're going to have to continue to caution your ranks and be on the alert. 2.5 yards, 2.5 yards. If it speeds up, you got to get it real fast and move it up. Slow it down, you can't let it bunch up. Kind of get the rocks out, get the lead out, and get things moving. Up and down. Okay, all right, Doc. When are we going to get to the point that we're going to do the show? When are we going to get to the point of readiness? If we say, on Baby, 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 drive it a little bit more and get the knee lift, we shouldn't have to say that for one time. In fact, doing this entire routine, I don't know, when you say motivation, I mean, you look up there and you see the Arc of Triumph, the real thing, what else can you do? I mean, when are you going to do the show? When are you going to step off after 8 counts? Next week? It'll be over. I mean, what else can you get other than that? Let's get out, and even this small number of people here, why don't you give the people a show? Why don't you go and show what they brought us here for? And stop messing around. Let's get into it.